Alright, so it's a big step today in our chopper build because we're busting out some new parts. This is the first time we have new, out of the box, we bought these parts instead of making them and all that sort of stuff. So this is fun. It's like Christmas. And today we want to work on our forward controls. So that's what's in here. And I'll link in the description of this video to these forward controls here. Sort of take out everything, see what we got. We're going to put this together. I'm going to show you how this stuff goes together. The kit comes with two of these things here, right? The foot peg goes on the end, on either end of these things, ultimately. But these are two different lengths, and you kind of see, looking at these guys here, two different widths as well here. But then these guys here are basically the same width. And these things thread through there. The longer one goes through the brake pedal here. So, longer one, brake pedal. And then it goes to this guy here that has the wider bit. That goes in there. You can see there's a hole there, and that lines up that guy there, the hole on this guy. All right, so I got everything sort of laid out here, the way it goes. There is an extra long bolt that goes, that's through the little shift pedal up there. 4 bolts here. These are ones that hold the whole front controls onto the actual bike, and these are designed for a Harley, like a Sportster, so keep that in mind. If you're using it for a different application like I am, you're gonna have to make some sort of adapter plate for this thing to go onto your bike, possibly. We've got these little retainer clips, spring clips. They're curved, whatever, so they spring. These go in between on the pedal here and then get held in with this little clevis pin, they call it. And then there is a little tiny circlip that holds that clevis pin in place. I've got some grease. I'm going to use some grease here to grease this guy here. Stick that together here. Stick that guy in there. Alright, so on the back side of this thing, the hole on the back side is bigger. Alright, so this guy, I believe, goes on the back side here because that seems to be made for that. Yeah, that looks a lot better. All right, and then these are supposed to be tightened to 18 to 22 foot-pounds. So I've got my torque wrench here. I've also got a set of hex sockets. So a bunch of stuff in here. Let's see. All right, so I'm gonna set this thing to 20. There's that one. I'm gonna do the same on this one. All right, and then we've got our circlip here. Go ahead and attach that on the end of this guy. All right, so that is installed. There we go. All right, and then to get our little foot pegs on here, basically goes on like that. We've got, to hold on, we've got clevis pin, and again you can see a groove on the end here where a little circlip, another little circlip goes. Also in there is going to be these little spring clips. So we've got 4 of these available, although the diagram only shows using 1. This thing has got a flat edge on one side, and that flat edge goes towards the back like that. Put the little, start the little clevis in there, get one of these little spring guys, get my pedal. Alright, that one is on as well. You kind of see what it looks like on both sides there. And this folds up. Now let's go ahead and install our foot pedal up here. That is this guy, this long bolt goes on, screws into the end here. So that's the basic assembly of these forward controls. The rest of it is like we've got these bolts that attach them to the actual bike. If you've got a Harley Sportster, which these are designed for, these should work for that. The rest of it, we've got other bits. This goes on to the transmission, and then this would attach to that part and go back to your forward controls here. This one with the shift lever on it. So, and then attach it down here, and this goes together with some Heim joints that they supply with the kit. So you go ahead, sort of throw these together real quick, and they can be adjusted. The length of this can be adjusted as necessary once you've got it on the bike and you're fine-tuning everything. So these then go on the bike with these guys here. So it goes through like that. Then one would attach to the bottom here. You could probably do it here this way or this way, either way, depending on how your bike is set up. It depends on how it's gonna align and all that stuff and make that work. So this thing goes on the bottom like that. Then you have another one, and then it would attach to this other lever on this end. And then there is your shift linkage. The brake side, it's a similar situation. Comes with this rod, the shift linkage that goes between. It just threads on to the one side here. Probably easier to disconnect this thing real quick. Just thread it onto the bottom of the foot pedal. Then we can easily get it in here and get that started without that giant rod getting in the way. All right, then that's like a little 8mm wrench that goes on there. Once that's on there, now we can go ahead and install. That's much easier to do that way. All right, so this appears to be so that when you're done, these two bolts, they sort of sit at like an angle on the actual frame of the bike. And then this guy, in terms of this pedal arrangement, this would sit down below like that. And then you would operate that pedal, and it would go something like that.